I'm not threatening you. Say one more word, and that's 30 days. 30 days.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to Sovereign Citizens Hall of Fame. Today we will be crossing the line of number 178 on our compilation list. We will be in 3 different judges' courtrooms. Before I give you the rundown on those judges' courtrooms, I just want to say thank you guys for the congratulations in the comments. I am also excited about reaching 200. There will be commentary left in some of these from when they previously aired. There will be chapters added for your convenience. And now let me give you the rundown of these judges. First, we will be in the courtroom of Judge Daniel Coursey out of the state of Georgia. Second, we will be in the courtroom of Judge Andrew Wheeler out of the state of Washington. And last but not least, we will be in the courtroom of Judge Jessica Hammond out of the state of Michigan. Don't forget, like, comment, share, subscribe, give your thoughts down in the comment section. It is appreciated. And now let's run into 178.
Good morning, Judge Coursey.
Good morning.
Yes, Your Honor, I'm ready. Thank you so much, Your Honor. I do apologize. We sent the conflict letter to the to the person who no longer, the staff attorney that's no longer with Judge Berry. So my sincere apologies. And I thought my paralegal filed it, but she probably did not.
Okay. So you may proceed.
Yes, Your Honor. This matter was, a while back, Your Honor, in 2020. This was a legitimation action with petition for legitimation to establish custody, child support, and visitation. When we went to court, Your Honor, we filed a motion to compel, I think, in that case, Your Honor, and opposing side, the defendant did not respond. Your Honor, per that order, Your Honor, we ended up filing a petition. The petitioner ended up filing a motion for contempt, and Judge Berry granted me that motion. And Your Honor, we attached it to the plaintiff's motion for incarceration, Your Honor, that was attached as Exhibit A. Your Honor, since that time, Your Honor, we've appeared before Judge Berry a few times, Your Honor, and surprisingly, this is the first time Ms. Lott has appeared since that petition, since our trial in 2020. Your Honor, I've tried to reach out to Ms. Lott a few times, Your Honor, to no avail. Your Honor, she's been included on all of the email correspondence with the court. Your Honor, she's willfully failed and refused to pay the attorney fees. Your Honor, last time we were in court, I think Judge Berry, I thought she granted the contempt and stated that because we did request for incarceration, Your Honor, and I guess we're here and just we're asking that Ms. Lott is incarcerated until the $2,755.40 is paid, Your Honor. And Your Honor, I am asking for attorney fees for today. Your Honor, and even me having to file this motion and continue to, I guess, seek attorney fees from Ms. Lott, Your Honor.
What are you asking for today?
Your Honor, for today, Your Honor, I'm asking for $1,500, Your Honor. And I can provide my affidavit to the court, Your Honor. We had to communicate with the court, Your Honor. I've been practicing law since 2008, Your Honor. I've been in good standing since that time. Your Honor, I charge my client a flat fee of the $1,500 just to try to see, just so we can file this motion for incarceration.
Okay. All right, Ms. Lott. Raise your right hand. You swear or affirm the evidence you're about to present in the matter and hearing should be the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth.
Your Honor, are you judging me?
If you want to call it that, but I assume you want to testify on your own behalf.
Yes, I do. And if the attorney is not going to be sworn in, that is a conflict of interest. And I have filed motions. I filed a quo warranto because I have searched for law licenses and I have not found any. There's been no true judges since 1789, and the United States filed a Chapter 11 in 1933, which lost their sovereignty as a government. So this I can't even be heard here. I have asked the court to provide me documentation stating that this is an Article 3 court. I have not gotten anything back from the judge with any type of documentation from the Attorney General, from the Secretary of State. You guys have not had permission to try me, and no law is above God's law. So I cannot honor any of your laws. It supersedes every single law that you guys have given me. I have tried to settle this in court. I have filed a fiduciary relationship. 56. I am friends with the IRS. I have attempted to settle with a $20 money order because there is no money with the court, and everything was sent back. So rejection of payment is payment, Your Honor. And my religion strongly prohibits any satanic laws or rituals, and I cannot serve two masters. So either I don't even know what to do here in this matter, because I have asked to be tried in an Article 3 court. This is not a court of equity. God's law trumps all laws made by man. God also says no man should be judged, or you will be judged. This is my religion. I have not broken any of God's laws. I have not estate. So there is nothing that I can do for Miss LaFleur, and I will not be paying it because my God told me not to. He gave me the instructions on what to do, and you guys refused it. You guys refused my quo warranto because it wasn't written in the way that you accepted, but I am not under your laws. I am friends with the IRS. I have sent out my documentation. I have my own contract with myself. I don't have a contract with you guys. I have not signed anything, and I am not a 14th Amendment corporate war citizen. I am a natural person. Miss LaFleur, can you provide me your?
It's St. Fleur. It's St. Fleur. It's not LaFleur. If we're gonna quote all of these articles, make sure you get my name. I'm not sure if any of the articles could tell me, but were you in court?
Questions. I have no further answers for any of your questions. I said what I said. This law does not trump God's law. I'm under God's law, and that's it.
Well, anything further, Ms. St. Fleur?
No, Your Honor.
All right, Ms. Lott, we have an order that was entered back on February 13th of this year, saying you had 10 days to pay this $2,755.40. Do you have any proof that any payment was made?
I have the proof here, and this was sent back to me. This is the money order that I sent to the court.
That's
Your
that
law-
$20 thing you said?
Yes, it is. That is the settlement that is written in your laws. I did send the thing. They sent it back, and refusal of payment is payment. So I will handle it with the IRS from here.
Well, $20 doesn't equal $2,755.40.
Or any court fees cannot supersede to $20, and that is what I paid as a natural person. I don't know about any U.S. citizen. I'm not a U.S. citizen. I'm a natural person and a private American. Mr. Crump, who is a U.S. citizen, however, has also violated the own court order that he brought into matter, because my child is supposed to go to school in DeKalb County.
Well, that's not before the court today.
Yep. Because, I mean, at this point, I'll take it up with God. I've not committed any crimes under God's law. I have not stolen. I have not bared false witnesses. I have not killed anyone. I have not dishonored my mother and my father, and I have not put any man before God, and I will not put any of you guys before God either.
Fine.
Tyreek, back up. Go back in there. What?
All right, Ms. Lott, I'm gonna find you in contempt of court for failure to pay the $2,755.40. Order you incarcerated, that is jailed, until you've paid the money.
I will be taking it up with the IRS, and I will be filing liens because you guys do not have liens over myself, my estate, or my child. So
You'll take it up with the sheriff first.
no, I will not, because the sheriff does not have any jurisdiction.
Turn yourself in, or the sheriff will come out and arrest you.
Jurisdiction over me, and the sheriff does not have any jurisdiction over me.
That's fine. Once you're released, I'll give you 90 days to pay an additional $1,500 for attorney's fees incurred by the plaintiff for today's proceeding. And I'll ask Ms. St. Fleur to submit the order.
Will do, Your Honor.
And include in that, the sheriff will notify the court when Ms. Lott has been arrested.
Can you guys provide me with evidence that you are Article 3 court and not a military court?
And
'Cause
we'll send you a copy of the order. Okay. All right.
It's
Anything?
good. It's good seeing you, Judge. It's been a long time, Judge. I hope
Yeah.
the government is treating you well.
Yeah. It's the way to go.
But
Thank you. Good seeing you.
happy Thanksgiving.
All right. Same to you.
Yeah, we have no further business with the. I
All
have no
right.
further business with the court. May I be excused?
You send your order to Miss Carr.
I definitely will.
Okay.
I put my information in the chat, Judge.
All right. Okay. Thank you. You're excused.
Thank you.
Is that everything for today?
Yes, Judge, that's it.
All right, Miss Carr.
Have a beautiful day. Hello. Okay, sir. Yeah. So, well, we're here for readiness. Ms. Carmi, this is Mr. Duggar. He's
Yes.
scheduled for court for trial on the 26th.
Yes, I did have a chance to talk to Mr. Duggar. He is indicating an intent to move forward with trial.
Okay.
He is requesting a jury trial.
Okay.
I did in order to kind of narrow what our issues were, I did speak with him about that, and perhaps I would like him to discuss that with you. I think there is a divergence of less factual and more legal that
Well,
he
there's-
plans to argue.
There's facts and legal.
I know, and that's why I don't want to put words in his mouth. So I guess I'll let him tell you what his issues for trial are.
Okay. You want to do it right now on the record?
It's up to you, Your Honor.
My issues are all constitutional and they're all facts.
Here's my concern, Your Honor. He is
Supreme
asking.
Court decided facts. Excuse me. I'm sorry.
He is asking for a jury trial. However, I believe some of his argument, most of the argument is a question of law only. And that is whether he is required to have a driver's license.
Okay. Yeah.
So, that's why I am trying to strike a balance here with what he wants, with what the court procedure would be if it purely is a question of law. That would not be for the jury to decide.
Yeah.
Question rights.
No, I understand. But there's no argument about whether or not he has a license. We all agree on that.
I don't have one. Don't want one.
Okay.
So it's
I don't want
just
the restrictions of one.
whether he has to have one. So I believe this is properly a bench trial in front of Your Honor with briefing on the constitutionality and and requirement to have a license with that statement.
Where jail time is concerned, I'm entitled to a jury trial.
So, Mr. Duggar, my recollection is that you have some matters in Clark County as well. Am I right about that?
And
or wrong?
Stevenson
In Stevenson?
and Clark County.
Okay, so you have.
I got a trial tomorrow in Clark County.
Okay. Okay. And are you representing yourself in that trial too?
I am myself. Yes, I'm pro per.
Okay. And you want to continue to represent yourself in these matters?
I continue to be myself. Yes, sir. You know,
I enjoy the nuance of the answer of the sovereign citizen always, sir.
I'm not a
I think,
citizen.
well,
There's no such thing.
well, you know, I always enjoy the nuance of how an answered question can be just twisted just a little bit. So I agree. I think Mr. Duggar has the right to have a jury trial. Certainly the city will have the ability to certainly, Mr. Duggar, have you done trials on your own before?
I did one time, a long time ago,
Okay.
years back.
Okay, well,
About
you certainly
10
have
years
the right to do that. You are held to a standard of understanding the rules of evidence and so forth. So right now, I am going to go through a waiver of your right to an attorney with you, okay? And answer any questions you have. And if you want to, you can look at this before you bring it back up to me, okay?
Incompetent. Only incompetent people need attorneys.
Oof.
I'd be.
Yeah, I've heard
Oh, yeah.
man
No,
who represents himself as a fool.
so you
for
have a
client.
right to remain silent,
Yes, sir.
okay? So I'm gonna have to just, I'm gonna read you this waiver of right to an attorney. You're gonna sign off on it. If you understand the right, you can't later come back and say you didn't have effective assistance of counsel, okay?
You betcha.
Says, I understand I am charged with the crime indicated on the citation or complaint, that's driving while suspended in the 3rd degree. The maximum penalty is contained in Appendix A, which is 90 days in jail and a $1,000 fine. If there are minimum penalties that must be imposed if I'm found guilty, those are outlined in Appendix A, which I have received a copy. There is no minimum penalties to the charge. I have the right to have an attorney represent me in all stages of this proceeding. If I cannot afford an attorney, I have the right to request a public defender. If I qualify, an attorney will be appointed to represent me. I may be at a disadvantage if I proceed without an attorney. I'll be required to follow the laws and court rules which apply to this case or these cases. These laws and rules can be technical and complex. I may not fully understand them without an attorney. I'm aware of the dangers and disadvantages of proceeding without an attorney. However, I choose to represent myself. Knowing the risks, I waive my right to be represented by an attorney. The court has had a colloquy or discussion with me on my rights to any attorney, my desire to waive this right. No one has made any threats or promises to get me to waive this right. I'm doing it of my own free will. I'm going to sign that you and I have read this. Do you have any questions about the waiver?
No, none. No.
That's no?
I said no, sir.
Thank you very much.
With my email on it, if you want to shoot it over.
I'm going to date the form just today's date for you, sir. Why don't you come on up? I'm going to make sure the pen I'm going to hand you is going to work. You have a pen? Okay.
Should have.
Sounds good. So the signature is here and the printed name is there. I'll get you a copy of that. Signature there, printed name there, please. Thank you. So here's what I think we should do, Ms. Carmi, or what I'm proposing, and I'll get here from Mr. Duggar on it as well. Okay, thank you, sir. That was your pen, so you go ahead and keep that. Okay, so right back to the microphone, Mr. Duggar, for me one last time. So I'm going to get this on the record. I know Mr. Duggar is making his way all the way from Stevenson to here. I would like us to maybe do a telephone check-in. Would you be comfortable at least having the court give you a call?
If you can get through where I'm at, it's like a black hole for cell phones.
Oh.
Way out the sticks.
Okay.
But you could try. You could give it a shot.
Okay.
I have a email address that I've been checking here lately.
Okay.
If you want that.
So
I
our
don't know if you
trial
guys-
date, let me just make sure for everybody. Our trial date is set for a Tuesday, the 26th. How about, could we try to do a call on Thursday, the 21st?
You can try to call or probably be easier to get hold of me through the email. Because
Okay.
really, you'll probably go straight to voicemail
Okay.
and the only way I get my calls is go up to the top of the hill and
Okay. Yeah,
Try
I
to get
probably
signal.
don't want you to have to climb the hill. So Ms. Carmi, my request is going to be perhaps that we do an email, if you would not mind, as an officer of the court to Mr. Duggar on November 21st,
Okay.
thereabouts. So check your email that day.
you betcha.
And we're just going to confirm that we're going forward with the trial on the 26th. Okay?
And then, Your Honor, we had one request, especially given the what is a likely stipulation here to the status of the license. We have subpoenaed and will subpoena for that specific date a DOL rep, just as a backup to that potential stipulation. May they appear by Zoom? We expect the testimony to be 10 minutes or less. So having them come from Olympia doesn't seem to make sense for all parties.
Would you be comfortable with the person from the Department of Licensing testifying over Zoom?
Sure. What you're going to testify to? That I don't have a license? I don't have one.
I don't know the facts of the case, but I would make an assumption that that would be it.
Okay. Yeah, sure.
Okay, sounds good. Mr. Duggar, paperwork at the desk by the door. Thank you for coming in today, sir.
Ms. Renfro, you can come on. All right, I have 3 files here. I have, looks like 2 civil infractions, 1 misdemeanor case. Misdemeanor file is 25F00373OM. People of the City of Burton versus Christopher Allen Renfro, and then the 2 civil infractions, 25F00141OI and 25F00394OI. People of the City of Burton versus Christopher Allen Renfro. And Attorney Odette.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. This is the time set for a pre-trial and possible motion hearing. I've received no motions. I don't anticipate there being any at this time. And we're just asking if we continue to the jury trial date, as my associate has indicated that Mr. Renfro is not inclined to accept any sort of offer.
All right, thank you for that. And then Mr. Renfro, can you go ahead and state your name for the record?
My name is Christopher Allen Renfro. Today I am demanding a vacate of these matters for I still do not consent. The jury trial is not a grand jury, so it would be a violation of the provisions of the Constitution of the United States of America. Also, the traffic tickets were not criminal, which this jurisdiction is for criminals, so I'd like those vacated also. No, there was no proof nor burden that the testimony of the cop was proved to be true, and also no evidence. I still have not gotten discovery, which means it doesn't sound like the plaintiff is ready to move forward either. So that's my statement. I demand the court to vacate these matters and restore me whole again.
All right, thank you. So most of what you stated is incorrect, and I'm denying your request to vacate or dismiss. The proper term would be dismiss, but denying that request. One thing that you did mention, though, that I do want to talk about is the discovery issue. And so is there any discovery that Mr. Renfro needs that he does not have?
There's a police report in the criminal matter, and then the tickets that he received.
Has that been provided?
I have no way to provide that to Mr. Renfro. He offered it to them previously, and we do not take that.
How would you like that to be given to you, sir?
Well, the 24th was the cutoff, so we're past the cutoff, and that means that there's no discovery on either side.
What it means is that the rules in this court are set by me, and if you want discovery, don't remember, we don't interrupt each other. If you want discovery, because you just stated you wanted discovery, so if you want discovery, I'm gonna make sure it happens. So if you want discovery, how do you want to give it to you?
I don't. We're past the cutoff line, and I want to vacate.
He doesn't want it. All right, well, if you don't want discovery, that's fine. In regards to work, also I want to mention, not right, but somewhat maybe along the path towards that somewhere, when you stated the thing about the civil infractions. So you're right, civil infractions are not criminal matters. They are civil infractions for a reason, because they don't carry any penalty of going to jail or anything like that. And so you aren't entitled to a jury trial on the civil infractions. You are entitled to a formal hearing. So my plan would be to have the formal hearings either before or after, depending on how it works out, the jury trial on the misdemeanor matter. Attorney Odette, do you have any objection to that?
I have none, Your Honor, thank you.
All right, and Mr. Renfro, I know you don't want to be here, you don't want to do any of this, you don't consent to anything, but nobody here on a criminal case really consents to it. So is that all right if we do those things at the same time, or would you prefer to come back on different days?
Consent comes from the Declaration of Independence. Their second paragraph down talks about the consent to be governed, and also William Lynch letters talks about when slavery ended and commerce was created. What differentiated the two was consent. So maybe we need to go back to our books.
That is a very interesting concept. Again, incorrect. Also, Declaration of Independence isn't law. Declaration of Independence was a declaration that we made to the King of England about what we wanted to see happen in this country. So that's not law. I wouldn't quote that anymore. I would quote
reasons why
other
they went to
things.
war with England.
One more
was
time,
Sam in America.
we don't interrupt each other. We're gonna keep doing this, and I'm gonna keep reminding you of that, because if you try to do it while we're having a jury trial, I'm gonna shut it down way faster, because we're not gonna do it in front of a jury. All right, so again, remember, we don't interrupt each other. So let's go back to the question, which was, would you like to do the jury trial and the formals on the civil infractions on the same day, or would you like to do them on different days? That's the only answer I need right now.
Proceed how you feel, because you already have, so.
Okay, I agree with that. So we will set them for the same day. I think that will be more convenient for everyone involved.
Thank you, Your Honor.
We do try to be convenient for people around here. Okay, and so let's set this then for.
I believe it's already set. I believe there's already notice for the, I don't believe it was on 8/7 yet.
But it was not set for today.
Okay. If we set this for August 7th, Mr. Renfro, is that an acceptable, and I know no date is acceptable to you, but are you free on August 7th?
I'm summons, I'll be here.
Okay, all right, you'll get a notice. We won't send you a summons, but we will send you a notice for
The
you.
only summons is little bit.
Well, if you don't show up, I'm gonna issue a bench warrant for your arrest, so be fair warned. August 7th, jury trial, 2025, August 7th at 8:30 a.m. That will also be the same date for the formal hearings on the civil infractions. And like I said, I'm not real sure which ones we'll do first or last, but I'm thinking we'll probably do the jury trial first so we can get the jury in and out of here, and then we'll move on to the civil infractions. That way, if we have to come back the next day on the civil infractions, we have to bring the jury back. Last thing before we leave, Attorney Odette, you mentioned that, actually, there's two more things I want to talk about before we leave. One, you mentioned that today was set for pre-trial and motion, and I do have as well have it, there was no stuff for motions, but I don't have any written motions filed. Did either of you file any written motions?
I did not, Your Honor.
Did you? Mr. Renfro?
No, I do not.
No? Okay, all right, so I don't know why that was set for that. I know you made an oral motion today, but, all right. Well, then that's not an issue. I will also note that right now, the jury trial actually has a date for Friday, September 5th at 9 o'clock.
Yes, that was the date that we submitted.
This is the date of Mr. Hammond's trial.
Okay,
And we are originally scheduled to coincide,
gotcha,
and it just kept moving forward.
gotcha. All right, so we want to do August 7th or September 5th, it's like either day is gonna be fine.
Well, I think of course discretion.
I'd say August 7th is good a date as any, so we're gonna, we had it originally set for, I think it was, July 25th, we had to move it because there was some kind of emergency or something. I don't remember what happened on that date, but it was something weird. So then we moved it, but we'll move it back to August 7th, that way we can get Mr. Renfro in a little bit sooner rather than later. I think those are all the things that I wanted to cover, except one more time, Mr. Renfro, I know we've already talked about this, but it is your intention to represent yourself in this matter, is that true?
It ain't my intention to present this cause.
Okay, you do not want me to ask the public defender's office to appoint you an attorney, is that right? You don't want that, right? And you do not want to retain an attorney, is that right?
Correct, I'm competent and I will see these matters through myself.
All right, you understand, I know we've talked about this before, but you understand that Attorney Odette and the people that work in our office that are lawyers have law degrees, they've been through law school, they've been doing this for many years, and according to the people in the legal system, you are gonna place yourself at a significant advantage by representing yourself. Do you understand that?
Advantage? Yes.
A disadvantage. I'm sorry, I didn't say advantage, I meant disadvantage.
I see it another way, but that's.
And that's fine, that's why people represent themselves, they think that they can do it, and you seem pretty competent to me. As long as we all respect each other and respect this room, everything will be fine and you can represent yourself. I don't have a problem with that. But if we start crossing those lines, that's when we're gonna have a problem, okay? All right, I think that's it for today. Thank you.
Well, guys, we've come to the end of this proceeding, and as we can see, Mr. Renfro absolutely had his sovereign citizen head on. We see him quote the Declaration of Independence, which the judge shut down. The request that he made, judge shut down. And I might add that, you know, he had a confidence about him as he was reading from the script, but to be honest, he wasn't really doing that great of a job reading from the script. We hear him say, this is a criminal courtroom. My charges aren't criminal, so therefore you don't have jurisdiction. A lot of different things he said. You know, judge pretty much told him it didn't matter. You know, it was nonsense. And here we are heading to a trial, and also 2 civil infractions scheduled on the same day. So it's going to be interesting, to see how everything goes on that upcoming court date. And we will definitely try to, stick with this case. I like this judge. First time being in her courtroom. From what I understand, she used to stream a lot a while back, but she kind of stopped. But she definitely is no nonsense, and she definitely isn't playing any games, and she definitely knows how to run her courtroom. So with that being said, guys, as always, I appreciate you guys for joining me. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, comment down in the comment section. All of the things that you do to help make the channel what it is today. And with that being said, guys, this is Sovereign Citizens Hall of Fame. And for now, guys, Sovereign Citizens Court is adjourned. I appreciate you guys. Thank you, and God bless.
I'm not threatening you. Say one more word, and that's 30 days. 30 days.